Hi folks, time for an astrology update. We are pretty much at the quarter moon, the first quarter moon, which is the midpoint between the new moon in Aries last week on April the 5th and the full moon in Libra, the second full moon in Libra on April the 19th. What does this mean? Where are we at? As most of you who've been following these videos know, and you're welcome to check out the past couple of videos if that's of interest to you, we're still dealing with, even though we had the new moon in the sign of Aries, we're still dealing with cleaning up in a pretty big way. What is truly continuing to preoccupy us is what has been going on in the sign of Pisces. So even though the sun has moved into the sign of Aries, technically the new year has started with the ushering in of spring at around the time of the spring equinox. We're still wrapping things up. February the 10th is when Mercury moved into the sign of Pisces, creating the next chapter related to crises that occurred in 2015-2016, the last quarter of 2015 especially, first 3 quarters of 2016 double especially. And these themes came up for revisiting around November the 15th of 2018 to December the 31st, 2018. Now I know I've mentioned these dates a lot in recent videos, but they're relevant, and I don't know who's watching this, whether you're coming to this new or whether you've been seeing some of my videos previously. So here they are again. And since February the 10th, Mercury came into Pisces, went retrograde March the 5th, direct March the 28th, and is still now in the sign of Pisces, moving forward, having cleared Neptune, and is going to be out of the sign of Pisces on April the 17th. On April the 19th, we have the full moon in Libra, the second full moon in Libra. We had the first full moon in Libra on March the 20th while Mercury was retrograde. So there is still a correlation between these Libra full moons, I think, and whatever it is that has been happening in the sign of Pisces. The bottom line is, and the planet Venus came in to help things along in the sign of Pisces on March the 26th, and it's going to leave on April the 20th. So essentially, at this point in time, windy, at this point in time, both Mercury and Venus have cleared the planet Neptune, and now I'm moving through the sign of Pisces to leave around April the 17th and April the 20th. Mercury April 17th, Venus April 20th, and we're going to have a full moon on April the 19th. All this means is that over the next week or 10 days, try and wrap up and create a constructive path forward that will work for everybody and provide some sort of a solution or a band-aid onto these crises that have been us for such a long time, that are weighing us down, that are past related at this point in time, that are not part of our primary path or calling for most of us, but are still weighing us down. So the question is, what can be done to put them to the side and create a sense of peace and harmony, very Venusian themes, and diplomacy to some extent, or solutions that work for everyone in a true and genuine way. Don't pretend that it's a solution that works for everyone. Don't. Venus will be quite unforgiving if you don't make an effort to create a sense of peace and harmony, and if you put together solutions that are going to be hurtful. So don't lie to yourself about what you're putting in and justify what those solutions are going to be. The other thing that, what I've said in these videos all along is that February the 10th to March the 5th, we were thinking about these things March the 5th to March the 20th, the energy became really murky, and March the 28th onwards, till pretty recently, it's as if the jigsaw pieces have been coming into the puzzle automatically and providing a certain sense of clarity. It's as if the murkiness has been lifting, the fog is lifting, and we are starting to see and know and understand things with a certain amount of clarity. Even epiphanies, even clarity around what to say, what to write, what to do has been coming in. And if you made any solutions or decided to take any action while Mercury was retrograde March the 5th to March 28th, it could be that if you acted on them, you might be regretting it at this point in time. Or it could be that those solutions have needed to be revised as Mercury went direct and you're in this particular phase of the cycle. The bottom line is this: you have a week or 10 days as you gain increasing clarity to effect solutions so that things can be put to the side and be done and be resolved so that you can move forward. And I would encourage you to do so. For some people, these solutions could have come from the outside, some sort of a culmination, some sort of a positive thing that happened that somehow, provides healing to challenges that you've been dealing with for a long time, since 2015. Once Mercury and Venus clear this part of the chart, we are left with Neptune, and we have not been with just one body in this part of the chart for a long time. So it's certainly something I'm looking forward to. It's something that I hope everyone else is it's a part of the chart where we need to feel some relief, and that relief is going to come soon, after the 20th of April. So the bottom line is, can you push through as things become clearer and cleaner and clearer and cleaner, and action needs to be taken in certain cases to effect the healing that is needed by putting together solutions that can work for everyone, and we move forward. The one thing about the planet Venus, which is here and very happy to be here, is that it can take the fight out of things. So if there was something that you were going to fight, if there was something that you were going to attack or deal with, it can take the fight out of it. And that may not necessarily be a bad thing. In fact, it may be the only effective way forward. If you do choose to do something that has a certain amount of fight in it, again, even that barking dog agrees. You may find that you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot by implementing a solution like that. And it may be that the fight metaphor was stronger in March, whereas in April there's a greater desire to shake hands with someone, or reach a solution and clink glasses and say cheers, or sign a contract, or whatever it is, to be in a place of peace. Remember, this is no longer the time for deceit, and this is no longer the time to pull pranks. This is not the time for one-upmanship. This is not the time for victory and defeat. Not with Venus here, not with what Mercury is trying to do, not with what the universe is trying to do. If you choose to live in that paradigm, I'm going to warn you, you will suffer from it. You will pay for it. And so really look at creating peaceful, genuinely, truly peaceful solutions that will work for everyone as you move forward over the next week to 10 days. The Libra full moon on the 19th can very much act as a culmination point, or a peak, or a final goodbye to these particular issues, as Mercury and Venus finally clear Pisces and enter the sign of Aries. The sign of Aries, the start of the new year, has been getting a lot of publicity recently in sort of general astrology videos, with this idea that we're in the new, and I will maintain that we're not yet in the new. We're still wrapping up and are being actively encouraged to wrap up things from the past that have been crisis-filled. And I would say that the next week or 10 days truly make that a priority and take care of that. At the same time, there may be a sense of balancing new things that come in with a sense of expansiveness for most people. So enjoy the sense of expansiveness, the sense of light, the sense of moving forward, the sense of moving into clarity, the sense of moving into a new beginning, by all means. But remember that the bulk of the work that still needs to be done, the heaviest part of the work, is still related to those 2015, 2016 crises that came up in mid-November and December 2018 and have been with us again for revisiting since February the 10th of this year, with the murkiest part of the energy in March, looking for clarity over the next 10, 11 days. Focus on that, and I think you'll be happier and more peaceful by the end of it. And if there's been things or positive resolutions or beautiful things that have come in from the outside over the past week or so, and just celebrate and see if that can be used as a way to create this healing as well. Now, I will talk more about the full moon in Libra as we get closer to it over the next few days. The planet Jupiter, the biggest astrological news is the planet Jupiter went retrograde yesterday. And wherever Jupiter is, there's no point in me talking a lot in these general videos about Jupiter going retrograde. You need to know, if you're really interested in this, you should know where the sign of Sagittarius is in your chart, what part of the chart it affects, and where Jupiter is currently. And wherever Jupiter is, more than anything else I find, it is trying to trying to end a 12-year cycle and start a 12-year cycle and create some helpful new beginnings, but also create some endings. It's not the popular view of what Jupiter is trying to do. The popular view is that it is increasing a sense of bounty and granting you luck in this part of the chart, and bringing you lots of wonderful things and money and promotions and good fortune. But I find that Jupiter is a little sneaky. I think the good fortune it tries to create really is ending things that need to be ended and inaugurating things or planting seeds that need to be planted. Now, there are two things I want to say about this. If Jupiter is direct in your birth chart, and bear with me on this, I'm going to finish this up in a few minutes. As I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. If Jupiter is direct in your birth chart, you are entering a phase April the 10th of this year to August the 11th of this year, when you may be integrating a certain amount of movement in this part of the chart that has been happening since November the 8th of 2018 till April the 10th of 2019, if that means anything to you. Now, August the 11th of this year till December the 3rd of this year is when Jupiter will move direct and really try and affect those endings and new beginnings. And the new beginnings don't have to be as dramatic as much as it's planting a seed. It's a trickle, it's a start. More interestingly, if you have Jupiter retrograde in your birth chart, sorry, this part of the reading is a little technical, but I'm trying to cater to various audiences. If you have Jupiter retrograde in your birth chart, you could find that actually you're entering the luckiest part of your year, from April the 10th of this year to August the 11th of this year. So see if for some reason all of a sudden luck tends to sort of cohere and things fall into place in a way that they haven't been so far during this time, and you make a lot of progress. So I will leave it at that. But most importantly and most interestingly, guys, all the pain that you have been dealing with since February, all the pain that you've been dealing with, all the heaviness that you've been dealing with in the sign of Pisces, over the next 10 days, make the next 10 days count, please, by all means. And try and find solutions and try and find the agreements and solutions that you can that allow you to lighten the load that you've been carrying since 2015, and so that you can really move forward into the new stuff that is trying to come up and begin and sprout, that you can instinctively feel and that may already be coming up and inspiring you to take action. Try and finish and wrap things up, because that's where the heaviest part of the energy is, related to 2015-16 crises, mid-November to end December 2018. Sorry, I'm bringing up these dates again. It's since February the 10th of this year. It's now time to enjoy and appreciate the greater clarity and epiphanies that should be coming to you, and solutions that be presenting themselves to you in order to affect the healing that we've all been waiting for. Healing, compromise, handshakes, cord cutting, whatever it is that is going to lighten the load for you as you move forward. And be very careful in terms of your integrity. Be very careful about a paradigm of one-upmanship. Be very careful about a paradigm of deceit or fighting. The time for that energy is done and gone. And with Venus and Mercury here together, especially with Venus here, I would not mess around with unclean intentions or deceptiveness. Okay, I will leave it at that. Feel free to share or like this video, comment on it, click the bell icon, the notification icon in YouTube, so that you can be notified whenever I do videos, subscribe to my channel, etc., etc., etc. If you're interested in a reading, my details are in the description area below, and you can contact me there. Okay, take care, and until the next video, thanks.